Welcome to Madison. We've got the Madison Radicals versus the Indianapolis AlleyCats today for our home opener. It's sunny, 60, a little bit breezy today, and it looks like the Radicals will be on O for their first point in front of their hometown crowd. I'm Jeremy Weiss. I'll be your commentator for the hometown games this season, and we're off. We've got 4 12-minute quarters. The word is that the Madison Radicals offense has changed considerably since last year. So far, they're working it up against a man defense. Brown floats to the end zone, and Riggles tracks it down for the score. So the Radicals get off to an early lead, 1-0. The Radicals are immediately in, looks like a man defense, even though they started out with a double team on the mark. And a throw is behind Cameron Brock, who can't reel it in. The Radicals will get their first chance at a break. So Graffy's deep to Swain. Swain tracks it down with a little bobble. He reels it in, and it's 2-0. Radicals are on top. It's Peter Graffy with the pull. The Radicals leading 2-0. Meshnick is leading the horde down. And another drop. That's Peter Carlton, and the Radicals are off to the races. That's Everhart with the disc. Up to Weber. Finds Cameron Brock with a D, a run through D, intended for Andrew Meshnick. The Radicals are working on some sort of zone. It looks to be maybe a 2-3-2. You got the 2 in the backfield, double teaming the thrower. Maybe a 2-4-1. The AlleyCats are working it through with some ease. And the AlleyCats will convert this one, cutting the lead to 1-2. And are undefeated. Madison is leading the Midwest Conference, 3-1. That's their record. Their one loss coming against Minnesota. The wind chill surprised them and took the game 23-20. So Volkman is on the sideline, moves it up to Annan with an immediate throw to Schleicher for the score. As a smooth offensive point, and the Radicals are leading now 3-1. So the AUDL is looking to continue to expand. They moved from 12 to 17 teams this last season. Oh, that's a quick score. Brock finds himself open in the end zone, and it's 3-2. So the AlleyCats pull lands out of bounds, and the Radicals will start in the middle of the field. We've got Brown with the disc, handling with Volkman and Tom Annan. We've got Schleicher and Coolidge cutting. Schreiwise, the deep look that's looked off, and Looks like Nate Thibodeau is the last man on the field for the Radicals. This offense is having no difficulty moving through this defense. A lot of quick, short passes, and Schleicher ends up with the goal. The Radicals lead 4-2. So the Radicals are again in their 2-4-1-like zone. And the AlleyCats are moving it up the middle of the field, finding holes. And moving it up on the sideline, the AlleyCats score, and the score is 4-3. So that's Travis Carpenter with a blading pull that Volkman collects. The AlleyCats are coming out in their own zone, also looking like a 2-4-1 with the 4 in the middle covering the unders. Schreiweiss and Coolidge having a little bit of difficulty finding openings. Brown's shredding the 2-man handler defense, and the AlleyCats are moving to man. Big layup by Carpenter misses, and Andrew Brown jumps in for the goal. The Radicals' lead is 5-3. And a missed catch results in a turnover, and the Radicals are on the doorstep immediately. They set up in their own vertical, isolating Petit Scantling, and some handler movement gets them within a couple of yards. Peter Graffi with an upline cut in for the goal, and the Radicals extend their lead to 6-3. So Keith Garner is on the field. He's motioning with Bill that they might have some sort of hand signal set up for the midfield defenders in this zone defense. A little lefty backhand breaks through the handler defense, and the AlleyCats are 10 yards out, floating it into the end zone. And the AlleyCats are in for the score, 6-4. So we've had a little bit of a technical difficulty there, but we're back. Dan Rowan collected a D in the end zone, and the Radicals are looking for a break here. Swain at a high stall count, throws it to space. No Radicals in the area. Man defense is stifling, and Pettit Scanlon comes down with the disc, but he came down hard. Looks like both Radicals are okay. And we're back in, and Petit Scantling immediately calls a timeout. We're coming back in from a timeout. There's 3.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. With timeouts, you can exchange all of your players. And so we see the offensive unit here coming out against a zone defense, which is now transitioning to man. Volkman looking for anything. And Carpenter reads it well and gets the layout D. He almost outran that D. Laid out and caught it at his waist. Annan baits an inside throw, gets his hand out there with a jab and gets the block. Annan on the under end, hucks it deep to Wriggles, who's under it, makes the grab. Hucks it to his Whitewater pal, Schleicher, who's in the end zone for the score. That's 8-4. The Radicals are coming out in their zone. Again, looks like a 2-4-1. The AlleyCats to turn it over, working only with the short field. And the Radicals have the disc again. Everhart collects the long throw, and Davis Whitehead jumps in for the goal, and the Radicals extend their lead 9-4 with 2 minutes remaining.
Radicals PA hashtag to get a shout out from the PA. This one's for Sun Prairie Ultimate. 4-0, undefeated.
So the Radicals again are coming out in a zone. This one looks a little bit different. There's not an immediate double team on the mark. It looked like just a 2 or 3 throw zone. Rowan is beat, but the disc hangs up. And both Swain and Rowan get in there to knock the disc away. So it's Alexander, the high release backhand. Doesn't get it off in time, though. Stall is called, and the AlleyCats look to convert from the end zone line.
AlleyCats disc on the goal line.
A junkie zone on the goal line does not prevent the score, so the AlleyCats are in, and the score is now 9-5 with 53 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Popular Radicals throwback jersey, recalling the wonder years of 1972 when the Radicals ran through the Midwest.
So the Radicals have worked it up to midfield. Miscue, a missed throw by Wriggles, results in a turnover. And an immediate timeout is called by the AlleyCats. And they're always working for positioning. You don't have to pause before the disc is brought in. The Radicals get what they want. A quick throw to the sideline. Meshnick can't connect with that layout attempt. And the AlleyCats are in for the score. Took them 16 seconds to get in from midfield. They close the lead. The Radicals are up 9-6. Volkman will collect it in his own end zone, centering to Brown. Moves it up to Annan. And the AlleyCats are playing well deep. Annan mishandles a low throw, and the AlleyCats toss it up into the end zone for a jump ball. There's the crowd of players under the disc misreads it, and Rick Gross comes down with a clap catch at his waist for the goal, and they pull within 9-7 with the Radicals on top.
Shout out to Davis, number 24 on the field, number 1 in our hearts. That's Davis.
So we enter the second quarter with the Radicals leading 9-7. AlleyCats will start out with the disc. The wind seems to have calmed down a fair amount. I expect the offenses to be able to convert. AlleyCats happy to throw short, easy passes. And Rowan slips, but the throw is too low and it blades into the ground before the receiver can get to the disc. That was Peter Carlton on the receiving end. An immediate double team is broken by Kelson Alexander. Wiseman with a cross-heel huck. The wind carries it over the defender, but Rowan can't come down with the disc. Swain with a late bid attempt. Can't come up with the disc. And Peter Graffey lays out for the D. Read and timed that defensive stab perfectly. The Radicals this year are choosing not to use their timeouts, letting the defensive players play through to try and score the goal against the offensive unit. Last year after a D, a timeout would usually be called and Brown would come in with the disc and start the offensive unit. But an errant throw will give the AlleyCats another attempt. And the German system is in effect, isolating Plu on the unders. And now a disc goes deep. Carlton's under it. Mistimes his jump, but wants a foul. The referees say no foul, and Coach Tim DeBile elects for a timeout. The Radicals are coming out in a vertical stack. Brown with an inside break to Schleicher. Brown with jukes to get a free reset and with a continue. Some slipping, and Annan hucks it deep to Riggles, and Riggles comes down with it. I'm not sure how that happened. Throws the continuation throw in for the goal, and the Radicals' lead is extended. They're up 10-7. Radicals have come down in their zone. The AlleyCats, with 2 quick passes, escape the sideline. The Radicals are yelling contain as the disc is in the middle, and now the trap gets set. The AlleyCats with short passes are having no difficulty, however. Looks like they've made an adjustment to bring 2 players deep to spread the deep fence. And an errant pass into the ground results in a turnover. Meshnik was alone deep for a minute there, but he can't come down with the disc. He had good position, but the AlleyCats will try and convert again. The throw to the middle of the field is giving them that freedom. Oh, a high release flick into space. And an immediate throw to the end zone results in a score for the AlleyCats. They cut the lead to 10-8. A great floating pull forces the Radicals to start from their own end zone. Brown with a famous backhand break results in the Radicals getting 50 yards on short continuation passes, and they keep it on running into the end zone for a quick score. That's try-wise in the end zone, and the Radicals' lead is now 11-8. So the Radicals are in their man defense, and the AlleyCats, when they identify man defense, are really looking to work the short unders and find Plu, who seems to be moving all over the field. And there he is, perfect pass into the end zone. Results in an easy score, and the AlleyCats pull within 2. The score is 11-9 Radicals. Brown will start with the disc. In the 4 games he's played so far, he's thrown it 183 times. It's about twice as many as the next player on the Radicals. The Radicals are already across midfield. Brown struggling to find, and a call. So it's a 10-yard penalty due to a pick call, but the continuation throw is valid. The Radicals regain their yards pretty much immediately, and that's a Andrew Brown throw that results in a turnover. Usually his backhand breaks are guaranteed completions. The AlleyCats may be picking up on his success with that particular throw. Double team results in the thrower falling down, but still gets off the throw. A missed holster results in a a 5-yard throw that is defended by Volkman, and the Radicals will have another attempt at scoring. Weiss moves it up to Coolidge, 10 yards outside the end zone. The floating reset to Brown, who fakes the inside break this time and elects for an upline throw to Weiss, who finds Wriggles in the end zone. And the Radicals convert. They lead 12-9. The Radicals lead by 3 with 3 minutes to go in the half. They're using their zone. Its effectiveness at this point is not great. A cheeky hammer gets the disc off of the sideline, and the AlleyCats are also using backhand inside breaks effectively. And they are in for the score. They cut the lead to 2. The Radicals are up 12-10. The Radicals are facing a zone. Brown is favoring his backhands as usual. The Radicals are 5 yards outside the end zone with Annan with the disc centering to Coolidge. And Brown with a nice continuation throw. And that's Schleicher in the end zone with the goal. The Radicals' lead is 13-10.
Fans, we hope to see everybody back in the stands on Friday night, May 9th, with the Radicals welcome the Minnesota Ring Show to town. Game time is 5:30. Sunday happy hour on Friday night right here at the Breese.
So the Radicals' defensive unit is being led by Dan Rowan, who has 3 Ds tonight. You can see how he likes to bait throwers and then come in full speed to catch up and make ground. The Radicals are hucking it to the end zone. Meshnik is going to run in for the score. Just toes past the end zone line, and the Radicals' lead is now 14-10.
Bacon on a stick. Look for the smoke and you'll find Smokin' Cantina.
So that's Peter Graffey with the pull. That's his 7th pull of the night, all of which have landed in.
1 minute remaining in the half, fans. 1 minute remaining.
The AlleyCats are 20 yards out. The hammer into the back of the end zone. Graffey's there, read it perfectly. Comes down with the D. 40 seconds remaining. This is a good time to calm down and work the clock, give themselves the only chance at the point. Now you got 20 seconds. Petit Scantling with the disc about midfield. Garner is looking for anything. He launches it to the back corner of the end zone, and Weber catches it, but is outside. Throws a no-look pass, which is defended by the AlleyCats. And that will bring us into halftime. The Radicals are up 14-10. So we're back from half. The Radicals' lead is 14-10. Got 24 minutes remaining. We'll see what kind of adjustments both teams have made since intermission. Biggest one here is you'll see that Andrew Brown is downfield. Now we're back to the traditional setup. Brown in the middle of the field, collecting resets, and finds continuation throws. One to Weiss. Sorry, I misspoke. That's Schleicher. And Riggles with an inside break with his left hand finds Weiss open in the end zone. Straightforward offensive point, and the Radicals are leading 15-10. Madison Radicals come out in a man defense. A big layout by Swain, just out of his reach. Plu moving it to Kari, to Ventura. Plu with the disc, throws it to the end zone. Brock is wide open in the end zone. And the AlleyCats score. The score is now 15-11, Radicals on top. The Radicals, after their first two throws, are already past midfield, and they've got it in the hands of a gunslinger who moves it up to Scott Riggles. Reset to Brown, and a continuation to Annan, who is completely unmarked. Chooses to hold the advantage positionally with his legs. And now the Radicals are 10 yards outside the end zone. Thibodeau with the disc. Brown is tripped, and that would be a foul. So the Radicals would move up 10 yards, but since they're so close to the end zone, they get to move it to the middle of the field. And you can't have this is about as much of an advantage on offense as you can have. Brown with the disc on the end zone. Finds Volkman for the reset. And a blade to Weiss, who is unmarked, is good for the goal. And the Radicals extend their lead. It's now 16-11. Radicals are coming out in their zone. See if it has changed at all. Its effectiveness is in question. Graffy with a great bid attempt, but the AlleyCats come down with the score. So usually in AUDL games, you'll see adjustments being made at halftime, but so far we're seeing pretty much the same bread and butter that we saw in the first half. The AlleyCats here coming out with a backhand force. Riggles with a blade to the end zone. overshoots Pat Weiss, and the defensive unit will get a chance to convert a break. Timeout is called by the AlleyCats. Looks like they want to get their offensive unit out. So the AlleyCats will come out in a horizontal stack with the Radicals playing man defense with a double team on the mark. And a missed catch by Brock will let the Radicals try to convert this offensive point with their defensive line. And we see Drews as the main handler in this system. Gets it off to Alexander at a high stall count. So Alexander and Drews working it. With a pick called, the Radicals will lose 10 yards and play will resume. Meshnik finds an inside in the inside position and throws a perfect pass to Wiseman, who's running up the sideline in a rails position. That's going to result in a Radical score, and they're up 17-12. 7 minutes remaining. The sun is peeking out through the clouds. We'll see if that has an effect on gameplay. Oftentimes teams will force so that the receivers have to look back into the sun to make the catch a little bit more difficult so they can play a little more aggressively on the unders. Needless to say, the Radicals come out in their 2-4-1 zone. And the AlleyCats happy to work it past midfield with 5 or 6 throws. Miller toes the line and is in for the score with a give and go. AlleyCats pull within 4. The score is now 17-13. Radicals on top. You wonder if, because time is limited in this game, that the AlleyCats will start playing more man defense to make the points shorter. You see them playing more man right now. The Radicals seem to be moving the disc with ease. Volkman with power position. Looks for a continuation throw, but the defender runs into the back of him. That's a 10-yard violation, and Volkman will continue with the free 10-yard bonus. Brown with a dish backhand to Schreiweiss. He's in for the goal. And the score is now 18-13.
On Twitter at Madison Radicals.
So by contrast, you would expect the Radicals might come out in zone to slow down the points. They come out in a man defense and quickly get a turn. Weiss moves it up to Graffy, unmarked. With an inside break backhand, finds Wiseman in for the goal. And the Radicals extend their lead to 6. It's now 19-13. Radicals on top. A little bit of contact on that throw. Nothing is called, and the AlleyCats are off to the races. But Miller can't pull in that disc, and it results in another turnover. Whitehead wide open, has 10 yards on his defender. However, the throw is bladed, and the AlleyCats get the disc back. They're moving it upfield with ease. And again, that middle backhand lets the AlleyCats reset the disc to the middle of the field. And Weber gets a hand block and is off to the races, drawing 3 AlleyCats defenders. And an immediate timeout by the Radicals will put their offensive unit in to try and extend their lead. Drew is holding the disc, and the ref signals that the disc is in. Wiseman looking for a deep hammer cross field. A tip disc lands in the hands of Whitehead, and the Radicals move up 40 yards on a gift. Graffy over to Whitehead, who throws it low, touches grass, and the AlleyCats will get the disc back. A timeout is called prior to the throw. Radicals will come out in a zone, a 2-3-1-1. Push pass is complete, and a hammer cross field is almost defended by Petit Scantling. Carlton can't connect, and the Radicals will get the disc back. Garner starts with the disc, throws it behind Everhart, who collects it and moves it all the way around to Whitehead. We've got Whitehead and Everhart as the handlers for this Radicals unit. Everhart known for his crafty left-hand unexpected throws. Move it up to Graffy. Floats it to Everhart, who's unguarded. And another backhand and a push pass from Graffy back to Everhart for the give and go. That's good for a goal, and the Radicals are up 20-13. Looks like a man defense. An immediate huck goes off. Meshnik under the disc. Taps it, connects with the disc, but a foul is called. That'll put the AlleyCats on the doorstep.
Foul called on that. AlleyCats disc.
Double team preventing resets, and Rowan with the tip gets the D, and Drews is energized, gets a give and go, looks deep, holds it, and throws a scooper to Swain. Contact with Alexander results in a 10-yard penalty.
Contact 10 yards.
Rowan with a good move out and then in. Resets to Alexander, who looks off an up-line pass. Wisely resets it to Wiseman. An inside break throw is collected by a poacher. And the AlleyCats huck it. Carpenter and Chase can't come down with the disc. Wiseman puts it back. There's 1 second remaining and a great defense by the AlleyCats. Means that nobody will score this final point of the third quarter. We go into the fourth with the Radicals up 20-13. His first pull of the game lands out of bounds, and the AlleyCats will center the disc right around midfield. A double team results in a high release, and Meshnik gets a hand on that disc, but the AlleyCats retain possession. Swain gets a layout D. Thrower is pointing to himself. He didn't like that throw release. The Radicals will try and convert the break and extend their lead to 8. Meshtik moves it to Alexander and up to Swain. Wiseman looking for the under. He gets it and looks off the deep throw to Rowan. Swain toes the line. Finds Meshnik for a short completion. Petit Scantling looking to Rowan, looks him off, and back to the handlers. Kelson finds Rowan in the end zone. And the lead is now 8. The Radicals are up 21-13. Graffy's pull lands in bounds. The AlleyCats will start about 10 yards outside their end zone. A throw from his knees maintains possession for the AlleyCats. Petit Scantling thought about laying out there. Didn't pull the trigger. The Radicals are in their 2-4-1 zone. Hammer across field should lead to several continuation throws for 3 yards. Weber reads it perfectly. Can't get there in time, and the AlleyCats are in for the goal. The lead is now 7. The Radicals are up 21-14. We've got just under 10 minutes remaining, and the Radicals lead by 7. We've got a call. Brown was sizing up that inside backhand break. He'll get to walk up 10 yards and size it up again. There it is. Finds Coolidge for an under. And the continuation to Weiss. Coolidge looking to the end zone. Schleicher was not as open as he appeared. AlleyCats with the disc now. A floating around, and Riggles comes down with the D. Riggles finds looks like Brown found the end zone there for the goal. He's up. The Radicals are up 22-14. Graffy continues his streak of pulls inbounds. And Meshnik comes in with a layout D off this first pass. Graffy sizing up a hammer throw, chooses to reset to Alexander. Drews with a lefty backhand. Didn't put enough rotations on that and finds the ground. An immediate shot to Plu is gonna trot in, jog in, high step, and he's got a goal and a spike. It's a great pull. The Radicals are starting inside their own end zone. We're back to a flick or a forehand force. This is where Annan excels. He looks off a huck to Schleicher and finds an under to Thibodeau, who decides to release the trigger, and Schleicher is wide open. He can't find his way into the end zone, however, a yard or two out. A push pass. That's a crowd favorite. Finds Riggles in for the score. The Radicals convert an easy offensive point. They're up 23-15 with. So the Radicals' pull is out of bounds. That's Peter Graffy's first out of 12 tries. And a short pass is bobbled and dropped. The Radicals take over. The handler set looks to be Everhart and Whitehead. However, the reset to Everhart also results in a turnover. So Plu with the disc, and the AlleyCats are 15 yards out. A hammer to the break side, and Brock is wide open. With 7 minutes remaining, the Radicals' lead is 7. It's 23-16. Carpenter with the pull. Looks to be a nice one. It's going to land in the back corner of the end zone. And it looks like the Radicals are putting in their defensive unit in for the offensive point. We've got Alexander and Drews as primaries on handlers, with Everhart as well. Graffy's wide open, and they find him. He times his jump perfectly and lands feet in the end zone for a goal. And the Radicals are up 24-16. Radicals come out in their zone. This is their zone unit. Petit Scantling almost gets a hand without looking at the throw release. The AlleyCats retain possession or past midfield. We've got 6 minutes remaining. We're halfway through the fourth quarter. Radicals feel comfortable with their lead at 8. Push pass, waist height, will result in an AlleyCats score, and the score is now 24-17. The Radicals bring out their offensive unit. Their lead is 7. And this offensive unit has been dominant today. The three main handlers, Brown, Volkman, and Annan, have 1 turnover amongst the 3 of them and over 100 throws. Shows their ability to break the zone that the AlleyCats are running at present. Riggles finds Annan. Back to Brown and upfield to Weiss, who throws the continuation score to Schleicher. And the Radicals extend their lead. It's now 25-17. Wiseman with the big pull. Should mention the two defensive handlers, Drews and Kelson Alexander, are not doing quite as well as the offensive handlers, but they only have 2 turnovers among their 50 throws. The Radicals are in a man defensive scheme. An inside break is a little behind Carpenter, but he finds it. And a quick movement means all the AlleyCats players are behind the disc except for a single isolated cutter. Petit Scantling with shutdown defense to prevent upfield continuations. A hammer break side. Meshnik looks to cover the continuation throw. It goes off, and Rowan tackles the receiver who comes down with the disc. A 2-person spike is successful, and the AlleyCats pull within 7. It's 25-18. Haichu with the pull. The Radicals have Annan collect and centering to Brown. Moving it up to Schreiweiss, up to Schleicher, up to Coolidge. And the AlleyCats are back into a man defense. Thibodeau tries to clout catch that. And an AlleyCats defender, Rick Gross, comes in with the D. An inside break throw goes straight to Pat Schreiweiss. Radicals come down with the disc. Brown fakes a deep huck and finds his favorite throw, the skinny inside break to Coolidge, and the Radicals are off to the races. Schleicher finding Schreiweiss, and the Radicals run all the way into the end zone for the score. The lead is now 8. Radicals are up 26-18. We've got just over a minute remaining in the game. The Radicals look comfortable with their 9-point lead. Graffy's feeling comfortable jumping throws from the deep position. A contact foul will result in a 10-yard penalty. And Swain reads the undercut well, collects the D, but a missed throw by Drews results in a turnover. Handlers for the AlleyCats moving it up the field. With 10 seconds remaining, disc goes to the end zone, but the AlleyCats can't come up with the goal. 4 seconds remaining. We may see one more throw. No, we will not. The game is over. The Madison Radicals win with a score of 27-18. They move to 4-1 and lead the Midwest Division. They look strong. Upcoming, they'll be playing the Wind Chill, the Minnesota Wind Chill, who took them down last time they played. I'm sure they'll be looking to make up for that loss. So that's it at 4-1. Radicals are looking good, looking strong early in the season, looking to improve upon their performance of a loss at finals last year. I'm Jeremy Weiss, signing out. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.